Sicela kushes bantu bakuthi ma-Afrika mahle ndithemba niyaphila apho nikhoyo nathi siphila ikhondo sihamba nazo nezikhoyo sizithwele. Namhlanje i-1st kaMeyi kunyaka ka-2023 according to the Gregorian calendar. And i-1st kaMeyi is a public holiday ebizwa i-Workers' Day. Workers' Day, for which is not even only a holiday as South Africa, but in many countries, i-1st kaMeyi ithathwa as a Workers' Day, coming from the International Labour Organization, for which the labor federations all over the world, si-affiliate kuyo, for which ke kuzo zonke i-countries ehlabathini kunabantu abathetha nge-Workers' Day, either bathetha as bese-state or bathetha as i-organization, a-subscriber kwi-idea, ye-socialism, workers movement, workers party, Labour Party, all the organization movements and the fraternities, as focused on abantu who are being recognized, categorized as workers in the world, So namhlanje ilo mini leyo whereby abantu bakwi-rally, i-labor organizations, trade unions, organizing rallies and some of even nationalist movement as they push worker struggle, because they consider the struggle of workers, the struggle sabantu who are oppressed, who are part and parcel of the liberation movement. Hence, nazo nationalist organization, liberation movements, recognize i-Workers' Day as part and parcel of heritage suppose ukuthi bayisebenzisa bayi-embrace so that baye phambili, so though kunjalo, but we know very well ukuthi it is mainly usuku olusuka from the International Labour Organization, for which is a white organization, so this Workers' Day ekuthethwa ngayo, include bonke abantu who consider themselves as workers, but some of us, we have a different outlook, different perspective, different understanding, different conception of our reality, so though some of us can consider Africans in the African world, Africa, and even outside of the continent, wherever apho Africans ziphila khona, Africans is considered as workers, but they were affiliated in the labor union, in trade unions, just like here in Azania. We have COSATU, which is a trade union federation, which subscribe actually to ideology or a vision of the ANC, which is the African National Congress. We do have also enough to, not enough to, SAF2, another federation, trade union, organization, which subscribe to socialist visions, socialist ideas, which mainly abantu bebe-part, formation bebesuka kwi-ANC, but got some of them, they are coming from even other political formation, for which yona i-claim ukuthi ayikho aligned with any political organization. It's just an independent, labor or trade union federation, nayo vele bayayi-celebrate this Workers' Day, and I'm sure nezinye trade unions that don't affiliate to those trade unions, federations, and also they are pushing the idea, your babazi workers, and they are pushing the worker struggle. But some of us, we are of the view that Africa is colonized, enslaved, and African people are domesticated, and so African people, they function as slaves, in their own land, even outside of the African continent, wherever apho kukhona abantu abamnyama function as slaves. They are enslaved, so we are of the view ukuthi someone who is a slave, who is enslaved, colonized and domesticated, cannot function as a worker. The concept of a worker, for which a Europe, umzekelo, abanayo engqondweni ukuthi who is a worker, in the European context, lamntu ose-Europe oyi-worker akafani ne-African elapha e-Africa in terms of functionality yakhe kwi-society, and ne-role ne-position yakhe kwi-society. Someone ose-Europe who consider himself a worker in Europe akekho kwi-status esifanayo socially nomuntu olapha e-Africa who is enslaved by Europeans, whatever form of slavery anyway, akuso, but all of Africans abakwi-settler colony, they are enslaved. They are not workers, and I don't consider abo bantu as workers. I consider abo bantu as enslaved being, who are slaves, who are supposed to function as enslaved people so that bakwazi respond to their reality as enslaved people, so then now abo bantu abo somehow bazo categorized as workers. Some of us, we have a problem with that categorization, because the relation between mna as umnyama with the owner of the land, of industry, upper Azania, upper Africa, is totally different. The relation between a European with the one who control the means of production, a Europe. We are enslaved people who are colonized and domesticated, and we have to respond to reality from that position of being enslaved, so tukukuthi abantu bakuthi bathathwe bayofakwa ezimine, bayonyanzeliswa ukuba babe ngamakhoboka ezimine, ayibajiki loo nto leyo ukuthi babe zii-workers. Even nabantu who are actually hypnotized to function, administration, yamakoloniali, ayibajiki loo nto leyo ukuthi baye kuba slaves, babe zii-workers, and bonke abantu who are functionaries in the colony, all of them who are black, who are African, are enslaved. So they function as slaves if bangabantu abafunctiona normal, because ngabantu abafunctiona from a position of reality, kanti abantu abangamakhoboka abathi abangamakhoboka bona bangabasebenzi, kwilizwe labo, but bangabasebenzi phantsi kokutyungelwa zii-aliens, ngoku-ownwa, ngoku-controlwa zii-aliens in their own land. No, ayenzi sense ukuthi babe ngabantu zii-workers. That's why some of us, we don't subscribe to the idea ukuthi Africans zii-workers. The Africans are the owners of the land. We are not workers. We are owners of this land, Africa. But as owners of the land, through invasion, colonialism, enslavement, sibekwe kwi-position of being enslaved people. So we are enslaved and domesticated. We are powerless. So we must respond to our reality as enslaved people, not as workers. Workers' consciousness is forced consciousness. So index suppose by sense, we must function from a position of truth and honesty and accept reality as it is and respond to our reality from a position yenyaniso yoku-embrace i-reality yethu, whether iloluphi uhlobo, but we have to embrace it and use it to advance our cause, not to embrace i-position enga-infonywa inyaniso but ibe i-infonywa yi-mind manipulation nokusikhohlisa nokusilahlekisa, just to run away from shame, ne-pain of being abantu abazi-slaves amakhoboka. There's nothing wrong to embrace inyaniso ne-reality yakho so that ukwazi ukuthi utshintshe isimo sakho ube kwiposition engcono. Izwe lethu ma-Afrika amahle, i-Afrika lilizwe lethu ekumele uba silwele silibuyise isithunzi se-Afrika sibuye nangoluphi uhlobo. And part and parcel lokubuyisa isithunzi se-Afrika is to reclaim our minds, is to reclaim our African mind from colonialist, from fraudulent Africans, from colonized Africans, from westernized Africans who define or who took a role and responsibility yoku define a reality from their perspective, from their narrative as colonized who are subjected under Western modernity, trying to fit this situation engenando yokwenza nathi as African people, So black man, keep yourself in your state of sanity, which is the state of blackness, and don't run away from that, and keep your Africanness as a shield in this time. Race first, ngalo lonke ixesha. Keep it black, don't turn it back.